Welcome to a brand new episode of the Justin Hamilton podcast. On today's episode, the Chase Australia's Brydon Coverdale, the Shark, returns with 10 new quiz questions for you to pit your wits against. And I'll be interested to know how you go with this one. The last one was the quiz that Brydon thought was the easier one, but the numbers I received for it were twos and threes, and it was a little bit trickier than he expected. And going into this one, he was like, "Oh, I reckon this one might be more difficult." And I was like, is it? Anyway, I'm not going to tell you whether it is or isn't, but we will bring him in, and I can't wait to hear how you went. So I think you'll have fun with this as well. But, as always, with the quizzes, the quiz part of it is exciting and fun to engage with, but I think all the information that comes with it is the part that I enjoy the most. I've learned a lot from it so far, and I hope you're enjoying that aspect of it as well. Just a quick reminder, if you're in Adelaide, I will be appearing at the Rhino Room tomorrow night. The theme of the show is South Australian stories, what it's like to grow up in Adelaide. When we do shows at the Rhino Room, I think we might lean into the idea of themes a little bit more. The last show I did there was the opening of the new season, and it was Craig Egan's 50th, and that was just such a nice buzz. We thought, yeah, theme shows might be something that resonates. So if you would like to come along, head to adelaidecomedy.com and use the password SA Story. That will get you much cheaper tickets, and you can join in and see a lot of some great local acts. Like, it's a really good lineup, and I'm looking forward to hosting it. So that will be tomorrow night. Also, if you would like to have ad-free versions of this podcast, be able to access bonus podcasts, be able to access live videos that have been recorded, and be able to get access to either free tickets to shows that I produce or cheaper tickets for shows that other people produce, head to patreon.com/Justin Hamilton, and you can find a tier that suits you. For as little as $5 a month, you can get access to all of this stuff, and all the money that's made literally goes back into the running of this podcast. It's quite a lot to keep the maintenance up and running, and it does feel like every time you turn around, there's just a new bill. And that's the same for all of us, really, isn't it? So, as I said, for as little as $5 a month, you can help keep this rolling. I will swing by at the end of this podcast, but I'm keen to get into these questions. I'm dying to know how you go. So let's bring in Brydon Coverdale. We're back with a brand new episode of our quiz. For us, it's 3 minutes after our last recording, but for our listeners, it's 2 weeks later. So, and enjoy trying to work that out emotionally, people.
That's right, yeah. So Justin is just coming off the back of 4 out of 10, and looking through these questions, this could be worse.
Oh man, it's going to be like I was a bit disappointed with 4 out of 10. There were a couple. There was a prime minister question. I won't say what the answers are in case you missed the last one and you want to go back. But there was a prime minister question that came down for me to a coin flip, and the coin flipped the wrong way. There was a sports question that was so preposterous that even though I remember the game that you were talking about, I had not remembered the score because it's absolutely insane.
Yeah.
I tried to bring Aretha Franklin back to life.
Yeah.
I reckon that was a bit of wish fulfillment, and but I did get a constellation correct, so I had a little bit of luck. But 4 out of 10, when I was looking at the answers, I was hoping to get close to. I felt like I'd get a 6.
Yeah.
And so 4 was a bit disappointing. And
I feel like four to 6 is kind of where it generally sits. So
it is, yes. So I look forward to Looking back fondly on that 4 out of 10,
That's right.
judging
Look,
by the sound of it.
I'm looking through, and you should get at least one.
All right. Okay. Well,
Sometimes low expectations is a good thing.
it's exactly how I've spent my whole career.
Mm,
Aim low
yeah,
and try to avoid disappointment where you can.
that's right. All right. Let's let's get into it.
Yeah.
All right. Your first question is about film.
Hmm.
Um, Monty Maisel, who was an Australian broadcaster, composer, producer, writer, and actor, died recently at the age of 102. He's probably most widely remembered for his small role as a neighbour named Jack in what classic 1997 Aussie film in which he delivers the memorable line, "Yeah, fuck 'em."
Goodness. Um. Hmm. Hmm. 1997.
1997,
Man.
very much a classic Aussie film, like, you know,
Yes. There's
not not obscure in any way.
no. There's a God, it was a good run back then.
Mm,
Like it's a good run of movies.
yeah.
And uh, I reckon you know what? I'm gonna change my answer on
Change your
that.
answer. All
Okay,
right.
so I'm gonna keep the previous answer there. So
Okay.
I'll be
Just in
honest
case.
with you,
Yep. Okay.
but I'm gonna go with the second answer,
All right.
and then you can tell me if I
Okay. All right.
overthought it.
We might retrospectively, give you a point if your first one was
Well, let's
right.
see.
All right. Question number two. In 1998, when the Northern Territory town of Katherine suffered catastrophic flooding, what company apologized unreservedly and contributed $25,000 to a Red Cross appeal for the town after running newspaper ads with photos of the flooding, a picture of their product, and the line, "Catherine could use some of these right now"?
I don't know the story, but that
Neither
is,
did I until recently, and I, I, I just thought it was great fodder for a question.
oh my Lord. I, you know what? I'm going for laughs,
Yeah, it may
and
also be correct.
oh my God, I'll be mortified if this gag is correct.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. Question number three. This is your multiple choice question.
Thank you.
What was unusual about Austria's Jochen Rindt winning the 1970 Formula One World Drivers' Championship? Was it that he was too young to hold a driver's license, he had only one eye, or he had died mid-season?
Oh my Lord. Um, yeah, right. God, they're all good answers.
Hmm.
Um, well,
I mean,
not
some of them.
specifically the third one.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, some of them aren't so good for Jochen Rindt.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. Yeah. Okay. Oh God. All right. Um, that second one sounds dangerous.
It does.
Doesn't mean it's not true, but
That's
it's
right.
like, geez. All right.
All right. Question number four. Famous for his novels that are variously described as satirical, postmodernist, and even sci-fi, which American author once failed miserably when trying out for a job with Sports Illustrated? Asked to write an article about a racehorse that bolted before the start of the race, the author stared at a blank piece of paper for an hour, wrote, "The horse jumped over the fucking fence," and went home.
Um, I I do not know, but uh, whoever this person is, I feel like I have a lot more respect for them.
Yeah, that's right.
If you're going to fail, fail with humor.
Absolutely. Took an hour at the typewriter and just kind of went. Yeah, this is not my job. This is not for me.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good hour though. Like
Yeah, that's right.
I respect someone for giving it a good shot for an hour and coming to that conclusion rather
I know.
than being 9 years into a career and thinking, what have I done?
It reminds me of, Mal Meninga giving up on politics at 30 seconds into an interview.
Yeah, that's the best moonwalk out of a situation I've seen
Yeah.
since Michael Jackson. It was amazing.
All right, question number five. What was
Hmm.
the name of the US space station that scattered debris in Western Australia in 1979 when it broke up upon re-entry into the atmosphere?
Mate, I know this and I've got a story for you.
Good. So
I'll just,
you've got your one.
yeah, I've got my one. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Great. Love
I
it.
have a fear I have two with that second one, but anyway, we'll keep
Hey,
going.
look. As I said, low expectations are the key to happiness.
Yes.
Question number six. The Australian singer, whose band reached number three on the Triple J Hottest 100 for 1998, in 2022 was interviewed on Jimmy Fallon's Tonight Show for a reason that was not related to his music. Can you name either him or why he was interviewed by Jimmy Fallon?
Oh, um, yeah, all right. Yeah. Yeah.
Very good.
Good podcasting, Hammer.
Good
Yeah,
commentary. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, well, the first episode that we did of this, my wife Zoe listened back to it and she said, "Gee, Justin says 'God damn' a lot."
Well, I try to be honest.
The frustration of just not quite getting there.
Yeah. Well, it's my attempt at being user friendly for anyone
Yeah,
who's driving along with kids in
that's
the
right.
car, which I often forget to do.
Yeah. All right, question number seven. The American inventor who is considered the founder of the modern frozen food industry
Oh.
was Clarence who? And you would see his name on packages of frozen food in supermarkets today.
Ah. Huh. Interesting. All right. Um. God damn.
Mm.
Little gentle one for Zoe.
That's right. All right.
Yeah. Okay.
Got one there. Okay.
Yeah.
Question number eight. This is an interesting one. Pajama party, beach blanket bingo, and how to stuff a wild bikini,
Goodness.
all films released in 1964 to 65, are among the final films featuring which Hollywood legend described by film critic Roger Ebert as, quote, the greatest actor director in the history of the movies.
Really?
And his final films include not that he wrote and directed, but that he appeared in,
Yeah.
included Pajama Party, Beach Blanket Bingo, and How to Stuff a Wild Bikini.
Oh my Lord. I honestly, I'm just going to throw a name out there. I have,
All right. I think
oh,
I almost think I could guess what name you might be guessing.
huh. That's interesting. Hang on. What year was this? This was,
64, 65.
and, and do they appear in them or did they make
Yep.
them?
No, appeared in them, didn't make them, wasn't responsible for them, but had this little weird run of these, beach comedy kind of films that they sort of guest appeared in at the end of their career.
Hmm. I have what I would consider a more I'm I'm going to go with the first one, but I'm
Yeah.
going to write down what I think is the more obvious
Okay.
answer, but I'm leaning towards eccentricity for my
Yeah.
answer.
Yep. I think I can sort of think of maybe three people who I could think that Roger Ebert might have said that about,
Hmm.
who could all be plausible answers.
Hmm. Yeah.
All right. Question number nine. Now, I did this in another episode where I gave you the categories on the bottom of a Wikipedia page that someone's someone's page links to all of these categories. So name this person. 1921 births, 2021 deaths, presidents of the Marylebone Cricket Club, English polo players, deified men, and Vanuatu deities.
Wow.
Mm.
Um, what just happened?
I know.
Like,
I know. I know.
can you smell burnt toast as well? Like, what is happening here? Like, hang
Who is
on.
the person
Yeah,
born in 1921,
yeah,
died in 2021,
yeah.
at some point was president of the Marylebone Cricket Club, the MCC,
Mm,
English polo player,
mm.
deified men, and Vanuatu deities.
Wow.
Mm.
That is
I mean, there would be other, more obvious categories I could give you, but I've obviously
no.
left those out.
Yeah, yeah, but this is like this is genuinely more fun, even if
Mm.
I am about to pass out trying to work
Yeah.
out who this is. God. Huh. Like yeah, right. Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I
Think about if any of those categories leads you to a certain type of person.
yes. Uh yeah. Like not really,
Mm.
but I feel what I seem to have in my head uh people who probably died earlier
Mm.
and people who are still alive.
Yeah, okay.
I,
Yeah.
I know that sounds like a good one,
Bit vague,
a
but
bit
yeah,
vague,
yeah.
but I've kind of got specific actors in mind who uh
Mm. All right.
oh man, you know what? You've just
I've broken you.
yeah, you know
All
what? I'm just going to put this name down. I
right. Write his
I
name
know
down.
it's wrong, but anyway.
All right. And the last question. In 2017, Australian comedian George McEncroe founded a business called Sheba, which is
Mm,
run by women for women, offering what service?
I know. I remember. I know Miss McEnroe. I know. Yes, I remember this. Is it
I believe it's still going.
still going?
I
Yeah,
believe so, yeah.
yeah,
As far as I'm
y-
aware.
yeah. All right, that sounds good.
All right.
Damn, I'm gonna be anyway. All right.
All right, excellent. So, how do we go? First question, which was about Monty Maisel, who died aged 102.
Yep.
1997 Aussie film in which he plays a neighbor called Jack and delivers the memorable line, "Yeah, fuck 'em."
So I'll tell you what I put down initially. I put the castle down.
Castle is correct. So that is your answer, isn't it? You've just said that was your answer.
Am I allowed to take that? No, no. I'm cheating.
That's the only answer you just gave. So,
All right.
I'm being generous.
You know what?
If this was the chase, we always take your first answer.
That is true.
Hmm.
That is true. You know what? Let's see how I go, and let's just put a question mark to
Okay.
it.
All right.
You know, why don't you just anyway?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So he's the elderly neighbor. There's a few neighbors, like one
Yeah.
played by Linda Gibson.
Yes.
Jack is the old man neighbor, although, looking back on it, he was probably only about 70.
Yeah.
And so they have this little neighbors meeting where they decide whether to go to the High Court, and
Mm.
that's his way of saying, yeah, let's do it. Um, and the other neighbor, Farouk, is played by a guy called Costas Kilias, who is like actually in real life a lawyer and has been a magistrate for about 10 years now. So it's like
Yeah.
these people have very interesting careers.
Yeah. Right. All right. Okay. The
All
castle.
right. Yes. Now, in 1998, when Catherine in the Northern Territory had catastrophic flooding, what company apologized unreservedly and contributed $25,000 to a Red Cross appeal for the town after running newspaper ads with photos of the flooding, picture of their product, and the line, Catherine could use some of these right now?
So I've got to be honest, I can't think of the exactly what the company's name is,
Well, brand,
brand or whatever,
whatever.
but I but I put down MaxiPad.
Yes, I mean
It is MaxiPad.
that is you're in exactly the right area. The company the brand was Libra.
Libra. Okay,
Yeah.
well I didn't get that right.
But I mean,
You
I
know
should
what? I'll take the
half a
castle.
point. Take a half
I'll,
point,
I,
you know.
well, why don't I take half a point for the castle and half a point
Yeah.
for MaxiPad?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
So I had no knowledge of that until for some reason I was looking up like Australian stuff from the 90s and that popped up and I was just like, wow. And then I found a Financial Review news article about it at the time and the whichever I think it was the Deputy Chief Minister of the Northern Territory was just up in arms about it because a couple of people died in this flooding and
Like it's crazy.
yeah, it probably is one of those things that in a little meeting at the business's offices sounded funny, but when you actually like put that out in the real world,
Yeah.
did not go down well.
What year was it again?
98.
98. Oh yeah.
Mm.
I like if it was the 80s, you'd
Yeah,
advertising was very different. But you
that's
feel like
right.
by 98 you should have learnt.
Yeah, yeah. So
Wow.
I thought that was a interesting fact.
Yeah, that is interesting. All right.
All right. So what about Jochen Rindt, who won the 1970 Formula One World Drivers' Championship?
I've got to be honest, they all sounded pretty out there, but
Mm.
I ended up going with died mid-season because I figured eyesight is too important to
Mm.
driving, and surely you're not allowed to drive without a license.
Well, if memory serves, I reckon Max Verstappen started started in Formula One before he was old enough to have a license. But you are
Right.
right. Jochen Rindt died mid-season, so he he is so in the Italian Grand Prix qualifying, he crashed and died. But by that point, he'd already won five of the nine Grand Prix that had happened, and there was four to go, and nobody was able to catch up to him on points. So
Huh.
he posthumously won the Formula One World Drivers' Championship.
Yeah.
The only time that's happened.
How strange.
Yeah.
What a devastating bittersweet moment for his
Oh,
family.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, obviously Ayrton Senna, dying in that crash in 94, but there's been such a lot of safety developments in Formula One since then that yeah, it was a very, very dangerous sport back in the early days.
Oh yeah, yeah. My a friend of mine was a massive Ayrton Senna fan before he even entered Formula One. So anytime Senna's name comes up, I always think about my friend Kane Madden, who was saying, "Watch out for this guy," and
Yeah.
then when he came along, was all about him and how devastating it was for him as a fan.
Yeah. All right. Question four. Which American author tried to work at Sports Illustrated, wrote The Horse Jumped Over the Fucking Fence and Went Home?
I'm going to take a guess. Kurt Vonnegut.
That's correct.
Yes.
That is a great get.
Pew 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 pew.
Yeah. That is an excellent get. Um, I've read a couple of his novels
Yeah.
and I really, really enjoyed them. I should get back to a few others. He's a really unique kind of style of writing.
Yeah, well, the part of the question that sent me there was the science fiction.
Yeah, yeah.
So everything else you were describing, it's like, oh God, that could be anyone. Then science fiction,
Satirical, postmodernist, even
y-
sci-fi. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, uh, and then I've read some of his essays and stuff, and he is funny.
Yeah.
So that's why I felt pretty confident going in that direction. Slaughterhouse-Five is one of my favorite
Oh, it's
novels as
amazing.
well.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, all right. You're really overperforming here.
my God. I know.
And you know this one as well, the
I
US space
do.
station that scattered debris in WA. What was it called?
Mate, it was Skylab, and
Mhm.
I, as a kid, was terrified that it was going to land on our home because we knew it was coming, it was going to fall apart over Australia.
Mm.
And I had nightmares that my mum had to deal with because I was really into space exploration and astronauts and sci-fi and all of that as a kid. So I was across this
Hmm.
and way too much, and have never been more relieved to hear Western Australia ended up with a whole lot of rubble on their front
That's
yard.
right. Well, and this is my favorite part of this story is that the Shire of Esperance decided to give NASA a $400 fine for littering,
Yes, that's right.
which I think is just great comedy value from the Shire of Esperance. And it was never paid off by NASA, but eventually in 2009, I think there was a an American radio host who found out about it and crowdfunded the funds from his listeners, and they paid off NASA's fine.
That's very funny.
Yeah,
One of those rare times where I hear something happened on radio and think it's pretty funny.
actually amusing. Yeah. All right. Well,
Oh,
speaking of radio, the singer whose band was number three on the Triple J Hottest 100 in 1998, why was he then interviewed on Jimmy Fallon's show 24 years later?
so it's Custard McCormack Bluey,
Yes.
right?
Yeah. It's Dave McCormack, whose band Custard with the song "Girls Like That" was a big Triple J hit in '98, and then Jimmy Fallon's such a big fan of Bluey that he had Dave McCormack and Melanie Zanetti on, who voices the two parents in Bluey.
I have to say, for anyone who's watching the video, seeing me write down while we were talking, and I looked down and saw that that was the next answer, I suddenly went, Dave McCormack, and quickly
Yeah,
wrote down Dave McCormack. So it's amazing how sometimes when you don't think about something,
yeah,
the answer presents itself.
that's right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we love Bluey. It is easily the most accurate representation of parenting that I've ever seen
Mm,
on TV or film or anything. It is so true to life, despite the fact that they're dogs.
yeah.
And yeah, when they went on, Jimmy Fallon and Dave McCormack and Melanie Zanetti, even though they voiced these two parents, they'd never met. Like they met like 2 days before this interview in New York because they record separately in different booths in different cities in Australia. And yeah, just I think it's basically the most watched show in the US
Oh,
of
yeah.
of all shows. Like
Yeah.
not just kids shows, but in
Yeah.
terms of minutes watched.
Yeah, it's on the Disney app over in the States, isn't
Yeah,
it? I think so.
yeah.
That's where it's hitting big. Yeah, I remember being blown away by the TV critic Alan Sepinwall
Mm.
writing about it, and you reading. And I love Sepinwall's insights into stuff, even when I don't agree with what he thinks of a TV show. I always appreciate where he's coming from and why he came to those spots. And then he was raving about Bluey, and I was like, "Oh, that's exciting!" And then you heard that American kids are starting to get a little Aussie twang in their accent, and I was like, "Well, isn't it about time we gave something back?"
Gave something back, absolutely. And like Natalie Portman's been on it as a guest voice, Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's what like from a writing point of view, what they can squeeze into a 6 or 7 minute episode is
Mm.
just phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a real masterclass in how to have, heart and humor and all of that in such a short thing.
Yeah, Craig Egan, who runs the Adelaide Comedy at the Rhino Room in South Australia, I wonder if his kids have grown out of it and
Mm.
he's still forcing them to watch it because he loves it. But I remember spending one Christmas afternoon at his place, and he made me watch. I think maybe 3 or 4 episodes in a row. I got to be honest, loved it. Thought it was
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's there's something there for everyone. There
Yeah,
really is. Like the episode that Natalie Portman is a New Year's episode where the parents Chili and Bandit are clearly massively hungover the next morning, but they sort of get away with that not being obvious to kids. It's just that
yeah.
they're tired. And so they put on this whale documentary that is narrated by Natalie Portman.
Amazing.
It's great.
It's such a funny idea. And you
Yeah,
know what? You don't need to spell it out. Kids will go, "Oh,
that's
yeah,
right.
sometimes mum and dad are tired after a big night out."
Exactly. And there's all these funny lines, like an episode where they sort of flashback to how Bandit and Chili met, in London or something, and Chili says, like they were at some party or something, and Chili says, "Oh, I don't remember that," and Bandit kind of goes, "Yeah, you wouldn't." You know, it's just such a lot there for the parents.
Yeah, that's great. All
Yeah.
right.
All right. The American inventor, founder of the modern frozen food industry was Clarence who?
Look, it's so funny. It's you mentioned that I'd find it in supermarkets. I did some shopping yesterday, and it's amazing how you just look at the pictures on things, and
Mm.
so I had to even try and remember. I went with McCain.
And I thought that was 95% chance of you guessing that, and most people guessing that, but his name was Clarence Birdseye,
Birdseye. God damn. Yes.
which
Right.
doesn't really sound like a surname,
Yeah.
but that was his name, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 1920s, he sort of revolutionized this idea of, basically flash freezing,
Mm.
and that's where the industry came from. But yeah, his name was Clarence Birdseye.
Yeah. Right. You know what? I just kind of I was trying to. I couldn't even think of like I was trying to think of something a little bit more in the bird's eye
Yes.
wheelhouse, and
Yeah.
I couldn't even. McCain was the only one I could come up with.
Yeah.
So, okay, this one I'm really curious about.
Okay, yeah. Which Roger Ebert called him the greatest actor director in the history of the movies, and his last few films that he appeared in included How to Stuff a Wild Bikini and a few others. So who did you say?
I went with Otto Preminger.
That's a good thought because it's not right. He was in the Batman TV series around the same time, played Mr.
Yeah,
Freeze. So
yeah,
he clearly could, have a
damn,
bit of fun.
yeah.
But this is Buster Keaton.
Oh, huh.
So he
How
had this
interesting.
weird little sort of coda at the end of his career where the company was making these kind of beach party sort of comedy films for, the young people. They brought him in to sort of play little kind of humorous cameo roles in them. And I the only reason I found out about this was one sort of late night, I don't know if it was Channel 9 or what, but one of these movies came on. And I think it was How to Stuff a Wild Bikini, which, that title, you can't avoid watching it when you hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah. You're only human.
And I don't know if he played I think it was some sort of witch doctor or something like that. And if I'm thinking of the same film, I think Uncle Leo from Seinfeld was there playing a thug as well. It was just
Yeah.
really odd little cast of people. But yeah, that was the end of Buster's career.
So, did you think I was going to say John Ford?
No,
Oh,
because it's more actor directors, I was thinking more along the lines of like Orson Welles or
yeah.
Charlie Chaplin, those sorts of ones.
I knew Chaplin would have been dead by then,
Well, no, he
and
wasn't. He died in
oh, was he?
1977.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I
Yeah.
I ruled him out
Yeah.
too soon then. But I knew Orson Welles, like he does the voice of Optimus Prime.
Yeah.
So I knew he was around. Buster Keaton. Okay, that's interesting.
It's not one that I expected you to get, but it's
Mm,
fun fact. Yeah.
mm, okay.
All right. So these Wikipedia categories: 1920,
So good,
21 births, 2021 deaths, deified men, Vanuatu deities.
mate. I've completely got this wrong.
Hmm.
I just couldn't get. I had Roger Moore.
That is a good thought, but no.
It's too soon.
Yeah, and I reckon if you thought about the English polo players angle, like who plays
Yeah.
polo? The royal family are known for that. So this is Prince Philip.
Oh, why did I have actor in my head?
I don't know. Didn't say actor.
Huh. I added actor for some reason.
Ah, okay.
No,
Right, never mind.
isn't that funny?
Hmm.
Um, huh. I'm not saying I would have gotten to Prince
Yeah.
Philip, but if I had For some, you know what? You didn't say actor at all.
I didn't say actor,
Yeah,
but that's okay. You might have still been thinking about the previous question,
yeah, maybe.
actor director. But
Yeah.
the thing about Prince Philip being worshipped as a god on in one little small group in Vanuatu is one of those stories that pops up occasionally, and uh, it's I was reading and there was a BBC article about it. So for centuries, these villagers in this small little place in Vanuatu had believed this ancient story about the son of a mountain spirit
Mm,
looking for a powerful woman to marry, and and this fitted with Prince Philip marrying the Queen, and
mm.
so when he went on tours of the Commonwealth, etc., they sort of associated this story with him, and he became viewed as a god by this small group in Vanuatu.
Yeah,
You
how
know,
funny. By the way, when I do remember going through the thought process and thinking, well, the royal family plays polo, but I can't think of any royal family members who were actors.
I
Well,
think
I,
adding in the fact that someone who lived to be nearly 100, I think you would have got it.
yeah, I I reckon I reckon the previous question was bleeding
Mm,
into that one. And this is the kind of thing that if this was the fast money section
yeah,
of the chase, I'd say Roger Moore. He'd say Prince Philip. I'd go, ugh, and then the next question would be asked, and I'd have to say pass because I wouldn't
yeah,
have heard it because I'd
you'd
be
still
too
be
busy
thinking
going,
about
ugh.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, and but I think you do know this one. George McEncroe founded the business Sheba, run by women for women, and offers what service?
Yeah, it's safe ride share. So
Yeah, it's a ride share. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, so being able to get around and not have some grotesque man try to, you know, hit on you at 2 in the morning when you just want to get home.
yeah, exactly. But I was reading about the origins behind it, and she was also saying it was actually partially came from the other direction that she was looking for work and thought about being an Uber driver, but just
Mm,
didn't feel that that was a safe thing necessarily for a woman to do if you're doing it late at night or whatever.
mm.
Um, so it's not just from the passenger angle, but from the driver
The
angle.
driver angle as well.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, she was sort of saying that only 6 to 10% of taxi or rideshare drivers are women, and sort of that that's one of the things that she was trying to address with the company. So yeah,
yeah,
I think as men, it's something that we might not have necessarily been as aware of, but
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, no, good on her for doing that. It was a good idea as well. She's great.
yeah,
I love her. Well, you know what? I'm going to give myself the castle, but I'm not going to give myself maxi pad.
yeah.
I
Okay,
think that's fair.
okay, yep.
Um,
So how many is that?
so that's 6 out of 10.
You did well,
I,
6. Yeah.
I did better on that one. Man, that Otto Preminger one, I thought I jagged it, but you can't jag Kurt Vonnegut and Otto Preminger in.
Or Buster Keaton, yeah, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like
Yes.
if you're going to kind of
I
names
mean,
like that, Buster
yeah,
Keaton.
yeah, yeah. So look, I think you've done very well with that because I was looking through those questions, and I definitely thought there was a couple of guessable ones, but
Mm,
um, I feel like maybe the key for you is having that first quiz to warm up. Your brain's in the right zone,
yeah.
and maybe this is how you need to do it. This is why we film several episodes of The Chase in a day because
Yes.
you get into the zone.
Yeah, that's why that's why when chasers are asked, "Oh, look, we're in a situation. Do you want to film 3 in a day?" You're like, "Yeah."
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, it's actually easier.
Yeah.
It's much harder when for people who don't realize we film 3 in a day. If one chaser does 2 episodes in the morning,
Mm.
it's harder for to come in at.
Yeah, if you just drop in to do one here or there, it's a lot harder because you it takes a little while to sort of, feel like you're in the right mindset for it. So
Mm,
Yeah. So I think maybe you're finding that yourself here.
Maybe that's it. Maybe I'm on my way. 6 out of
Yeah.
10. I'll take that. 4 out of 10.
So
You know what? Like five, like a 50% strike rate over two
that's
episodes
exactly.
feels right.
Yeah, I think so. I think, look, as I said in the the previous episode, I think 4 to 6 is where this generally sits, and
Mm.
yeah, you've done well.
Yeah. Thank you. I feel very good about some of them. And you know what? Like I'll 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 take Otto Preminger as an emotional win because I did remember him in Batman. So I thought, oh, he's got a sense of humor. He might turn up in these films.
Yeah, that's right. And I mean, I loved that Batman show when I was a kid. It used to be on after school, and
Mate.
I had no idea who a lot of these people were. And it's only in hindsight that I look back and go, "Wow, Otto Preminger, geez, that's
Oh, it's wild. Also, like Burgess Meredith turning up, and
yeah, yeah,
so many great actors. But also, the thing that I love about the '60s Batman is, what's the origin of Batman? He goes out, he sees his parents murdered, he becomes inspired to fight crime. Well, if that's the origin for all the different versions of Batman, that's the Adam West origin as well. But he sees his parents murdered, and he goes, "Well, I'm going to be groovy."
yeah, absolutely. I've thought for a long time that this whole idea that superhero films have to just get darker and more gritty.
Yeah.
I really want someone to flip the whole thing and take it back to the more 60s Batman style where it's just fun.
Yeah, I look. If anyone wants to watch the George Clooney Batman and Robin and be able to enjoy it, imagine that he's the new Adam West,
Yeah,
and that suddenly that movie becomes a lot more fun.
yeah, yeah. I think one of one of the great scenes in that original Batman is the one where Adam West is on two phones at once, talking as Batman to Bruce Wayne for the benefit of Commissioner Gordon, who's on yet another phone, and
Yeah, yeah, and
masterclass in acting.
not really changing his voice either.
No, that's right.
Just the best. There's also an episode where there is suspicious that he might be Batman and Adam West as Bruce Wayne. As then they look up and it's Batman and Robin are standing on top of a building, but it's Alfred
Yeah, I know.
dressed as Batman, completely different body shape.
Yeah, yeah, but that happened occasionally when Bruce Wayne had to be in the same place. Alfred would put on the costume, and the excuse was always that Batman was a bit unwell. He was,
Yeah,
he was a bit sick.
yeah. Even superheroes can get chest
He
colds.
was yeah, he's a bit sick, and he's also 70.
He's also 70. Man, it's really hit him.
Yeah,
The flu season's been brutal. Brydon, where can people find you?
yeah. They can find me my website brytoncoverdale.com or on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, where I put out a lot of a lot of stuff, fun facts, videos about things you might not know, a few old clips of me on game shows from past years, if that's your thing. So that's where you can find me.
Yeah, and remember to let us know via the socials, etc., how you did in these latest episodes. We want to hear how you're going. If you got 10 out of 10, that's brilliant. And if you only get 1 out of 10, but you really nailed that one, we want to hear that as well.
That's right.
All right, thanks, mate.
Thanks,
You
Justin.
to Brydon for joining me today. I'm wrapped with how I went in that quiz. So that felt like a real win. I've been hovering around the fours of late. So to be able to get it up to six was like a massive victory on my behalf. But also just really interesting stuff to come out of it. So once again, Brydon's given us an absolute winner. Just a reminder, I will be at the Rhino Room tomorrow. You've already heard me talk about that, so I don't need to talk about it some more. I know money is also really tight at the moment, so if you would like to support this podcast, but financially it's not the best of times, leaving a top review on whichever platform you use is greatly appreciated, or even just suggesting this podcast to friends that you think might like what we're doing here. Remember, this is a podcast that celebrates art and entertainment. And what we try to do collectively is sift through the stuff that we're consuming and present it to you. And hopefully, in doing so in a fun and light-hearted way, something will appeal to you. And then you can watch, listen, read, and get something out of it as well. So that's kind of the goal of this podcast. And it's all about trying to beat the algorithms. Speaking of which, if you head to my website, justinhamilton.com.au, you can sign up for my newsletter that comes out fortnightly. Will come out every second Tuesday morning at about 10 a.m. It continues the work that I'm doing here and allows you to have direct access to me rather than, having to worry about things turning up on all the different social media platforms. Like, I was talking to a friend just the other day, and she was telling me some major things that have been going on in her life. And she said, "Oh, I kind of posted it on Instagram, and I realized I haven't seen her on Instagram for ages, and she's someone that I follow." And then you kind of go there, and it's like, who's this person? Who's that person? Why are they here? So, if we're trying to beat what the tech overlords are telling us that we can and can't see, the newsletter is the best place to be able to have that direct access to me, to my friends, and what we're producing here. If you do sign up, the email that confirms it will probably go to your spam. So make sure you check that first, move it to your inbox, click it on, and from there you'll be good to go. And that'll only come out fortnightly. So I promise I won't be taking up too much space in your inbox. Also, just a reminder for Brisbane friends, I will be up there on the 18th. Yes, not long now, and I'll be performing at Good Chat Comedy. So if you would like to come along to that, I'd love to see you. If you'd like to bring friends, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm very happy that I'm starting to get that Brisbane market rolling again after losing touch with one of my favourite cities in the post-COVID world. I know it's been a long time since post-COVID, but it's amazing how time just flies and you suddenly realize, damn, I've got to fix that. And then after I kind of get Brisbane going, I need to sort Perth out as well. I used to be in Perth all the time, and then that's dried up as well. If you're in Perth, let me know if you'd like me to come along. And yeah, I've been talking to a certain Rove McManus about maybe doing something. So keep an ear and eye out for that in the future. Okay, weekend's coming up. Remember to let me know how you go with your score on the quiz. I'll be back next week, and we will roll it all over with brand new podcasts for you. I hope you're well. For those of you who are celebrating the King's birthday on Monday, yes, aren't we all? When I say the king, I mean Jack Kirby, the king of comics. That's who I'm celebrating. But anyway, if you've got a long weekend, I hope it's a good one. And I look forward to catching up with you then. And as always, until then.